I have assets that are paid for, so I can take more risk with the liquidity that I have. I don't do VC because I don't like a 13-year payout. I like to be in control. I'm a hedge fund guy at heart, so I like to be in control of my liquidity. And so I haven't changed anything at all in terms of my asset allocation, apart from increasing it and using the leverage. So why am I doing this? And this is really important for people to understand. So I first bought Bitcoin at $200 in 2013. It went straight up to $1,000. And I'm clearly George Soros. I'm the best investor the world's ever seen. 500% in 3 months. I'm a genius. It then falls 87%. And my time horizon was like 5 years plus. So I'm like, well, probably 10 years, because I wrote that first ever macroeconomic strategy paper about Bitcoin in 2013. So I said, okay, fine. So it's a call option. I'll let it go up and down. So it fell, didn't do anything, watched it. It rose 2017. I got confused over the staking wars, the forking wars. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. I'm going to take my money out. And I sold out at something like $2,000. So I've made 10 times my money, one of the best bets I'd ever made, and watched it. Now, I was still interested in crypto, but I thought it was in a bubble, and it was. It shot up 10x more to 20,000, then collapsed 85% or 82%, whatever it did that time around. And then I bought it again really well in kind of April 2020, when it fell into the middle of the wedge pattern. I bought it right at the right level. I didn't get the absolute low, but let's say I got in about 6,500, and then I put in a much bigger bet than I did first time around, and great. So I went back recently and looked at it and thought, what happens if I just kept my original $200 in its original size? Because it looked like I traded it really well. I bought it here, I sold it here, and then bought it there. Problem is the here's and there's were all higher, because I sold at 2,000 and bought back in at 6.5. I fucked the whole thing up. Really, if I just held it, I'd have made 5 times as much money. And then the real magic unfolded is if I'd used the liquidity cycles and bought them every time we've had that kind of M2 fall down, M2 growth fall down, global M2 growth, bringing it back to the long-term uptrend. Had you just bought then, i.e. the crypto winters, even if you just missed the low by 30%, maybe more, I still would have done over 20 times better, even accounting for the fact I put a lot more in April 2020. So I've learned, many of us are having to learn how to trade a exponential asset that's in a logarithmic uptrend that is cyclical. But that's how I just deal with it now. I just use that simple framework. Is the adoption going on? And where are we in the liquidity cycle? And just use that.